Does this look like bed bug bites to you, dude?
Where?
Right there on my arm.
These?
Yeah.
No, it's a scratch.
Okay.
That's a scratch.
Geeking out over that shit, dude.
Have you ever had bed bugs?
No.
Oh,
but
fuck.
I've read and heard the stories.
So I had bed bugs once.
I remember you got them from that shitty ass motel in KC.
No, actually, it was from a shitty hotel, I think, in Sydney, Iowa.
Oh, okay.
But yes.
Same thing, basically.
Yeah.
Who cares?
But no, you get like clusters of. They look kind of like mosquito bites.
I just remember it looks like it's in a line, like they're in a line.
But they're like in sets of 3.
Yeah.
No, it's a scratch. That's a fucking scratch.
I do have a cat too, and
yeah.
you can clearly.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just need a second opinion sometimes.
Here's my official opinion. That's a fucking scratch,
dude.
Probably from your cat.
Let's move on to my next phobia.
What's your next phobia?
A Shinn show.
A Shinn show.
A Shinn show.
Shinn show.
A Shinn show.
A Shinn show. I am fucking constantly obsessed with the thought that there's bugs in my ears, dude.
Oh my god.
I keep seeing
Look at this fucking shit.
Are you about to show me this post on Reddit of the dude who poured olive oil in his ear and a fucking dead bug floated up and he's like,
oh my god,
like,
what?
He's like, dude, I was just mowing my grass and my earbuds fell out for 1 second. And he's like, I felt a slight pain and I was just tripping. So I made my girlfriend pour olive oil in my ear because I read online that it works. It does. It drowns whatever's in there and then it'll just float up to the top. So maybe I'm going to come over and you pour olive oil in my ear. We watch it for a few watch it for a little bit. But
if you do me, then I got to do you.
Yeah.
Vice
That's
versa.
fine. Yeah. But he's like, I never would have known. Like, I never would have known. It was just in there.
No,
like,
but my friend literally texted me a screenshot of her Facebook page. I know who that is.
Dude.
And it says, a bug flew in my ear and wouldn't come out. Craziest feeling ever. Never want that to happen again. Literally this morning we were talking about that.
Get the olive oil in there, man.
Well,
fuck that shit.
Because I'm really skeptical about this olive oil treatment. I'm sure it works, and yet I don't think you actually need to do that. Or do you? I don't know.
Hold on. I actually have a story. Uncle Chris told me this. This is no bullshit. Uncle Chris told me this story when I was a wee lad about him and some other family, whatever, were
his second family.
His other family
right.
were
his real family.
His tertiary family were off, boating around on a lake, dicking around in a lake. And there was a little girl there. She was all in the water, whatever. And then like all that night, she's just crying, screaming. Next day, crying, screaming, complaining about her ear. And they take her to the doctor. And the doctor's like, well, I don't see anything in there. But tell you what, why don't you take some olive oil? Pour it in there, lay her on her side, pour some olive oil on there, see what happens. And then they
see what happens.
Yeah,
it'll be fine.
They do, and he, according to Uncle Chris, God rest his soul, swore to God that a 6-inch fucking cockroach crawled out of her fucking ear.
Fuck that.
And then immediately the pain was over.
Well, it might have been something crawled out of her ear, but it does sound like your Uncle Chris to say that it was a 6-inch cockroach.
He may have embellished a little bit, but maybe not.
6 inches in a child's ear?
Okay,
are there
maybe I'm
even
embellishing a little bit here. Maybe I'm disrespecting his ghost, but I'm trying to put some zhuzh on it.
I don't think you're disrespecting. I think he would enjoy a good embellishment.
Yeah.
He would. Well, I think if you are going to pour olive oil in your ear, you might as well just do it now. Do you have any olive oil laying around, honey?
Yes.
All right. Well, why don't we just do it right now?
We'll do it, record it, put it on the page.
I have a little phone stand and everything.
The page.
It'll be great to see that slug crawling out of your ear hole.
Fuck off, dude.
Even if
Holy
listen, even if it was a 1 millimeter cockroach that crawled out of that little girl's ear, 1 millimeter's too much bug in your ear.
Especially cockroach. I mean, if a cockroach crawled out of my ear, I would shoot myself. Shoot.
It probably wasn't even a cockroach. It was probably just some sort of water insect, and he just called it. Yeah, doesn't matter. Too much bug.
Some sort of aquatic insect, if you will.
Yeah.
I see. Well, I had a tick bite me on my leg about a month and a half ago, and it's still not fully healed. It's about 99% healed now, but it's not fully healed.
Are you going to go get tested for Lyme disease?
Yeah, y'all got that Lyme disease.
Are you going to get tested for it?
No.
Why not? You have Lyme disease, dude.
What are you talking about? I don't even feel bad.
I don't know.
Lyme disease fucks you up, I hear. Like,
Exactly.
Rickety fucking joints and shit.
Yeah.
Which you've kind of always had anyway, so you wouldn't even know, dude.
Right.
You got rickety ass joints anyways, bro. Come on.
Exactly. I'm
Are
telling
you frail?
No, well, a bit, but I would know if I had Lyme disease. I would know if I needed to go tested for Lyme disease.
Yeah.
I really think so.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well,
maybe. It's an insidious disease, man.
It is
Sometimes
insidious.
it lays dormant.
It's Darth Insidious. It's Darth Dormant.
We had just read earlier that week, though, that you really have to have a tick on you for like 24 to 48 hours to get Lyme's disease, and this was definitely not on there that long.
That's right, because we require all ticks that land on us to immediately notify us. And so I hadn't gotten a notification, so clearly it was either a few minutes in arrears or it just forgotten for a few minutes, but it hadn't been on there very long because I'd gotten no such notice whatsoever.
Border Patrol
I
would have
know
been
this.
all over that shit.
I know this because I make it easy for them by sewing multiple bells to every inch of my clothing, and I
and each
travel
leg
around.
hair.
Yeah, I travel around that way. People ask me, dude, what the fuck is your problem? This is a library. I say, I'm just wanting to make sure the bugs can tell me if they're here.
You understand completely then.
I'm sure you understand.
Of course.
And then I slick my hair back with my
Like,
own watery feces.
You know what? You know what book that kind of reminds me of? Not the watery feces part, although the Sabriel books, the
What?
abortion books.
Yes.
Ooh, yeah.
With the bells?
Yeah.
And they banish
Wow.
demons?
Yeah, yeah.
Did they
Wow,
ever
that's
make a
blast from the
movie?
past.
Did they ever make a movie or cartoon out of that? The Absorb.
I don't think so.
Probably bad. Clearly it wasn't. If they did, clearly it wasn't a fucking hit because none of us even are sure of its existence.
I'm gonna reread that.
Yeah, if you do, let me
Well,
cop when you're
The
done.
bells.
Well, I don't have a copy of it.
The bells that signal you
acquire
down
a
to
copy.
lower levels of hell. Wasn't that what it was? Lower levels
All I
of the
remember
river?
is there was a cat that named Mogget, I think.
I don't really remember the cat.
Mogget,
Yes.
but really it just took the form of a cat. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
like her little fucking mentor, but really he was like some kind of demon that her father
Had
Yeah,
left
had like
behind for her.
subjugated.
Oh,
It was
sure.
like the circles of hell, but it wasn't really circles of hell. It was like the rivers.
Dude,
of
I
hell.
was so fucking young when I read those books. I cannot believe I remember reading A Wrinkle in Time when I was in like 4th grade and like getting to the end and being like, what the fuck did I just read? You know?
I had
I
that
don't even,
experience
like-
in my 30s. Don't worry.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
did either of you see the Oprah Winfrey movie, A Wrinkle in Time?
Your father has accomplished something extraordinary. Also dangerous. He's trapped by a darkness that's actively spreading throughout the universe. And the only one who can stop it is you. Be a warrior. I'll try.
No,
What?
No.
Oprah Winfrey movie.
Did you see
she
it?
produced it.
Oprah, not only did she produce it, she starred in it. She produced
Did
it. Hell yeah, she was one of the witches, you know?
When?
Did you see it, dear?
No, I didn't see it.
2016
None
or
of us saw
17,
it.
I think.
None of
Really? It was recent?
Did Uncle Patchy ever have the conversation with you about how he lived in the wrinkle of time?
Do tell.
Sounds kind of familiar. Also sounds like a half a decade long acid trip is what I would call
Well, it is Uncle Patchy.
it. So
that's
what
it.
is it?
I don't know. He asked me one time. I don't even remember how old I was. Fairly young. He's like,
you ever read A Wrinkle in
yes.
Time?
And I was like, yeah. And he's like, that wrinkle in time is right here, man.
He
I
always
was
used to
like,
say weird cryptic
okay.
shit like that, though. You know what I mean?
He's like, no, I live right here in that wrinkle.
Oh, he was definitely tripping.
Okay, bud.
That's what it sounds like. What the fuck
what
you
he
mean? I
meant-
live right here in that wrinkle, just crying
What
blood.
Anyway,
what I took from it is
Two
that
black guys and shit, like, hey kid, and then you realize it's not even Patrick at all. It's just some guy.
it's a
It's just
skinwalker.
some homeless dude.
my takeaway from all that is that none of us saw A Wrinkle in Time, the movie. I will tell you, it was not critically acclaimed. It was not beloved from a critical standpoint.
Well, yeah, Oprah's a hack.
Here's what
What?
I'm just kidding. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe is she? Sure.
You sounded very authoritative. I thought maybe
I
you
know.
had some dish.
I know. I sounded like I knew, right?
Hey, so you remember how last week on the pod I was like, Bill Gates is a huge pedophile piece of shit?
Previously on a Shinn show.
You know how Bill Gates is apparently a pedophile and a huge piece of shit? So I finished that podcast, and it's less that he's a huge pedophile piece of shit, although the jury's still out, and more that the guy who did the podcast just hates his fucking guts.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was
Really?
like, you have a huge heart on for this guy.
Oh,
like,
Oh, so
Okay,
we were
like-
just repeating shit we heard on the internet. Is that true?
it was getting kind of unprofessional. Is that what you're
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
okay, it was a two-part. It was a two-part series, right? Okay, and in the first 5 minutes, they're like, "We're gonna break it all down for you and lay it all out and give you the truth." And I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm here for the truth."
And then like
the
halfway
first...
through, he's like, and he just dresses like a little bitch.
Yes.
Look at him, dude.
Yes.
Look at these weak ass
Exactly
sneaks
like
he's wearing
that.
to this.
He's like, he's a fucking nerd.
He's a fucking dork, bro.
Yeah, he's Bill fucking Gates.
Look
What
at
do you
this
want?
fucking geek. Don't you just want to give him a fucking swirly?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Bitch.
I mean, so he did have like a weird hard on for Epstein. Bill Gates did. Like he hung out with Epstein a couple times and made some weird comments.
That's not good.
It's not good.
What weird comments?
It's also not
What
irrefutable.
kind of weird comments?
Like he said, I can't remember the quote exactly, but he said something along the lines of, "He lives a very intriguing lifestyle."
Yeah, okay.
So, but that was like the most damning thing in that
Just imagine
2.5
some kind
hours.
of intelligence agents who got all the kids you can fuck.
The guy talked like that when he was imitating Bill Gates.
Really?
Yeah. I was like,
crazy.
you are a fucking asshole.
I was just throwing that out there.
Yeah. That was a really good impression for not
All right,
listening
that's
to
my
it.
other podcast. I'm the guy who did that.
That sounds about right. Just going on. Yeah, what a real piece of shit. I've got
Just
nothing to
exposed
substantiate this, but
Now-
I think he's a dick.
I mean, just look at what he's wearing.
They did talk about how like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation basically, like the WHO runs decisions by their foundation first before like deciding different vaccine decisions and things like that.
Seems,
and it was more of just a
not
comment
great.
on capitalism and how corporations rule the world. So
Dude,
that
this-
was depressing,
this
but
Zoom
it's nothing
meeting
new.
is making me look like a fucking pirate, dude.
Although I gotta say, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation probably has more money and scientists behind it than most nations' public health service departments. Like, so.
They're certainly
But
better
that's
Is that a
funded.
good thing, though?
They're
You know?
probably better funded than the World Health Organization, I can
Yeah.
tell you that.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, is that a good thing, Nick? No, it's not a good thing. It's not a
Yeah.
good thing that there's a private organization that is better funded than an international organization. That's not good. No, that's an
Yeah.
imbalance in the force.
But
Yeah.
here's something interesting, which I think is a clever way of combating the issue. So all these corporations have all these offshore accounts, and they're avoiding paying U.S. taxes and that sort of thing. So Biden's gotten 130 countries to agree to a minimum national tax to help eliminate at least some of these tax safe havens. I mean, obviously everybody has to get on board, but hey, that's pretty impressive news to me.
Well, there only needs to be one holdout. That's all I'm going to tell you. And every corporation in the world is going to be then headquartered in the Seychelles or wherever that one holdout is.
Just like how every corporation in America is headquartered in, what is it, Delaware?
Yes, for that very reason. Speaking of which, I wanted to mention that I finished reading all 6 of the Dune books by Frank Herbert. They're all 6. They're all in the books. And I do recommend them. But on the other hand, the bottom line takeaway from Dune, if you want to get right to it, is that Frank Herbert really advocates for a controlled breeding program for humans. That's what he really is advocating for.
Me too.
Throughout these 6 books.
Wait a minute. So we were discussing corporations avoiding state tax in Delaware, and that somehow was speaking of which I finished Dune. And
Are there
that's
mega
how they advocate.
corporations?
Yeah, there's mega corporations in Dune. There's something called the CHOAM, and the CHOAM is this acronym that stands for this alliance of big business, basically. And so, yeah, it made me think of that, especially in the first book. CHOAM plays a prominent role. It kind of fades after that in importance.
Shom Nomsky.
Jeffrey Bezos. He's the CEO. Jeffrey Bezos.
Yeah,
Jeffrey
Bezos.
Bezos' disembodied cyber skeleton is now the CEO of CHOAM.
You know what Jeff Bezos is not the CEO of anymore?
What?
He's not the CEO of Amazon. He stepped
Yeah, he's
down.
That
When?
was a while ago. But
No,
that doesn't
today.
that doesn't mean anything.
think.
He's still a majority stakeholder. All he's doing is just shifting all legal liability from him to whatever fucking patsy is now the CEO of Amazon. He's still making money off Amazon quarterly. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean anything.
Well, I think actually he's making money off of Amazon every second, unless I'm
Sure.
very much mistaken.
Sure. Yeah.
Doesn't he make more per second like than most Americans do yearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't even, we don't even need to like guess numbers. You could just like, yes, you know what I mean? Like, motherfucker got $200 billion. And by the way, there's $200 billion in reported income. Everybody knows once you start making a certain amount of money, there's a difference.
The points are made up.
There's a difference between how much you're reporting and how much you have, because you don't want to get dinged over the head with taxes. That's, I mean, if that weren't true, offshore accounts, shell companies, you know, Swiss banking tropes wouldn't exist. You know what I mean?
Yeah, whatever he's worth, it's worth more than any of us could ever imagine.
I read this thing on Reddit one time that was talking about, I can't remember what the topic was, but it was like, what's an interesting job? And this person was basically a personal assistant to a billionaire. And they're like, money, after you reach a certain level of affluence, and they broke it down like multi-million, single million. So once you start to get into the 100 million, you know, then because currency doesn't really matter anymore. It's all about time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
but
because you're getting a certain amount of currency all the time.
Yeah.
So now you have to allocate that resource in the correct way, right?
Yeah, the assistant was saying it was so crazy because like they literally had no concept of what anything cost ever. Yeah. And it was, you know, it was the biggest thing that you're currying in that point is your favor and your time and your attention. She's like, it was absolute. Well, I don't know if it was a she or he. They said it was absolutely insane and totally made them feel unreal.
Sure. Well, think about this. If you never have to ask how much something costs, think about what kind of power that gives you.
Someone's got a funny story about that with Joe Rogan. I remember, and this was like, you know, at least a good decade and a half ago. Someone like they were on the road with Joe Rogan was like, yeah, you know, I didn't bring my toothpaste, and then Rogan was like, well, we'll go down to the dollar store, you know, get you new toothpaste, be like $15. Everyone's like, what? He's like, isn't that how much toothpaste? How much does toothpaste? They're like, you think a tube of toothpaste costs $15? He's like, well, I don't know, like, you know. I just get that shit sent to my house, you know. I don't handle that kind of the day-to-day buying of stuff. That was long before Spotify.
Yeah, this was the personal assistant said that the person that they worked for got into some legal trouble. And like the lawyer was trying to talk to them about some kind of fees that they would have to pay, and they had no concept of like, so is that a lot?
Yeah.
Like
right.
Let me tell you something. Somebody who has made it from a blue-collar or poverty-related background, they're likely to carry around a few $100s with them. You know what I mean? Somebody who's truly wealthy will never have a dime on them because somebody else pays for everything. They don't even pay. That's so gauche. Yeah. That is so filthy to have to handle money. It's so uncool. It's so unpleasant.
To have to pull out a wallet and like, you know, worry about the bill and shit, you know what I mean? And like look at it, to even look and try to comprehend its contents, aside from just snapping your fingers and having some goon carry it off.
Nonsense.
To be dealt with out of your sight.
Exactly. No, we needn't worry about that. That's the way we like to do business around here, of course.
Dude, if you tried to rob Bill Gates at gunpoint just walking down the street, like you would just get, all you would get is a 50 caliber bullet to the back of your head from a sniper in an unknown location.
Although, first of all, let me say this. Hey, Bill Gates, sorry we called you a pedophile without any evidence last episode, okay?
Fuck you, Bill Gates, you're a pedophile. Martyr me, I don't care. Fuck you. Kill me.
We
Pussy, do it, you geek. Look how you dress. You fucking New Balance shoes.
You know what you need? Another fucking swirly.
Yeah. Fucking tabletop. Me and my boys would tabletop your ass. We saw you in the street, bitch.
You know, this is really defeating the purpose of the apology, son.
That's me.
You're
Leave my family out of it, please.
Oh, I see.
Leave my family. Well, now it's fucked, you know, because now he knows that I care, you know. If
sure.
people are like, oh, you don't care if I kill you, I'll just kill your whole family then. How about that?
All right, no one's killing anybody's family.
I stomp their heads into these fucking New Balances. How do these look? You wanted to bring up the New Balances, huh? Okay.
Speaking of beating the shit out of people, we watched a movie last night, you know, to celebrate 4th of July called America, the Motion Picture.
Okay.
Great title. Have got to see it.
I'm George Washington. Let's go start a fucking revolution. Ding dong. It's America, motherfucker.
Did you practice that line in the car on your way here?
What the fuck is a car?
Holy shit.
Damn. Fuck my life.
It's got like a 3.8 rating on IMDb, and it's like a 38% on Rotten Tomatoes. But that shit is patriotic as fuck, and it's right up your alley, Nick.
Okay.
It's not exactly patriotic as fuck. Here's what it is, okay?
Wait, before you go into there, let's just, let's all recognize, I think we all know, I'm a true patriot. I'm a real patriot. Rock, flag, and eagle. Am I right? All right, go ahead.
Now that we have that out of the way, basically it's a reimagined version of American history in which George Washington is basically this overgrown frat boy, and he recruits Sam Adams, who is another basically overgrown frat boy, and they together with their companions Paul Revere, Thomas Edison, and Abe Lincoln attempt to overthrow the tyranny of the British.
Well, Abe Lincoln died, inspiring them all to do this.
Oh, that's right.
It's
okay.
Geronimo that helps them
That's
out.
right. That's right.
So
Geronimo.
And John
Lincoln-
Henry.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about John Henry and Geronimo, too. They all play a role.
There's representation. That's all I'm saying.
Sure, diverse.
Although Geronimo is constantly getting put down and he loses half his arm and shit like that. And John Henry's always making snide comments. And then at the end, when they beat the British finally, well, George Washington is saying thanks to everybody. And someone said, hey, what about your slaves, George? So anyway.
Are the British like what? If George Washington is a frat boy, then the British are what? Prep school boys?
No, the British are evil. So there's Benedict Arnold, who is actually a werewolf. And then instead of King George III, it's King James, even though King James is from Robin Hood. Anyway,
That's King Richard from Robin Hood. But the King James is referenced to all this Christianity shit. And they make fun of Vietnam. And they throw in a lot of random American culture and history.
And it's a bunch of
it's total bullshit.
I mean, they throw in a lot of historical figures, none of whom live at the same time.
None of whom. Just
obviously, Abe Lincoln did not die to inspire George Washington. That is completely out of fucking order.
Are you sure?
Timeline is real fucked.
Yeah.
Right. Are you sure? You won't be after watching America the Motion Picture.
Well, because the opening scene is the founding fathers signing the Declaration of Independence, and the British just come and destroy them, just blood, chaos everywhere. So that's why then Abe has to inspire George to lead this new troop to greatness.
To glory.
Yeah, because the British, they won't let you party.
They're the fun police.
They're fun police. So in the final battle scene, it's You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party by Beastie Boys playing the whole time. It's ridiculous.
It's so
good.
stupid.
I don't know if I could.
Yeah, you could.
If I can do this, man.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. It's so stupid I couldn't stop watching it. I mean, I'm obviously a historian. I have a master's degree in history, and I laughed all the way through it.
Maybe that is how it went down. I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe that's how
Don't.
None of us know. Everything we know is just some shit somebody told us. We don't know.
Well, I will tell you that in the cartoon version, Martha Washington's real hot. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah. What do you mean the cartoon version? The cartoon version of what? Of the Declaration of Independence?
No, of the cartoon version of Martha Washington, of George Washington's wife. Her cartoonish portrayal is hot, but I bet she was busted down.
Portrayal in what? Just in general? Like
she
fandom?
was a hot cartoon.
No, America the Motion Picture is a cartoon, Sarah. Did you think it was live action?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no,
No.
it's live action. Oh, you thought it was like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit type deal, and
No,
they had
I thought
Jessica Rabbit is Marshall Washington.
That's kind of
I thought
hot.
it was more like
I'd be down with that.
Sure.
Abe Lincoln Vampire Slayer is what I was thinking.
Okay.
No,
Gotcha.
yeah, I
I
got
can
you.
see that.
I don't think they had the budget for that.
No, it was a
I don't think Abe Lincoln had the budget for
everything
Abe Lincoln.
they just described to me does not sound. That sounds like a very high. But if it's live action,
Yeah, you're
you
right.
know.
But this is a cartoon I'm talking about.
Yeah, I
American-
know.
Okay.
I'm going into the hypotheticals.
I see.
Fucking guy.
Fucking guy.
You know,
You're also
another thing.
hostile tonight.
No, I'm not.
No,
I'm not hostile.
He's actually
am I?
quite affable. Seem affable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're hostile now.
Hey,
Did I tell you about the Jesus Christ kid? Did I talk about that yesterday or last time? I mean,
No.
tell me about that.
This fucking kid. I really felt like I was.
That you work with, though, right?
No, I don't know this motherfucker. I don't know them
Okay.
at all.
Different guy.
Yeah,
I really felt like I was about to get murdered. Doesn't matter. I was going to Pinckney. I get into my fucking. I'm getting into my car in the parking lot of the apartment complex that I reside in. And there's this fucking car driving behind me, and they're pulling up like next to me, like they're about to park next to me. And so I'm not really paying attention, but they stop halfway. and I can just feel them sitting there. So I look over, and it's some kid with long curly hair tied up in a ponytail, and he's holding up like a slice of pizza, and he's like kind of blocking my car off. And he rolls down his passenger window. He goes, "Hey." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Do you know about Jesus Christ?" And I'm like, "What, dude?" And I start walking towards his car, and then he's like, "I gotta go," and then peels off.
Bro.
It felt like he was, if I would have been like, "No," and he would have been like, "Well, you're about to meet him," and pulled out. It really felt like he was about to kill me and chickened out at the last second. Or the way he was holding this slice of pizza when he was saying it, I was like, was he going to throw that pizza at me? Because as soon as he was like, "Do you know about Jesus Christ?" I like felt weird. So I
postured up.
Yeah, postured up, started walking toward, I bowed on him a little bit, started walking towards his car. I'm like, wait.
Are you questioning my love for Jesus?
I'm like, what the fuck was that? And I'm like, you know what? And then I get in my car and I follow after him.
Oh my God.
And so like now I'm driving.
Now you're really going to get shot.
Now I'm driving right next to him. And I'm like, staring at him. Like he can feel my energy. I want him to look.
Have
like,
you
yeah, like,
heard
hey, what the
about our Savior, Jesus Christ?
Just run him off the road and kill him and eat him. Anyway, so he got off on the interstate and then I never saw him again.
What is it? And this is something that I think has happened exclusively to me and our family, but about small enclosed places that people trap you in and then question you about your faith in Christianity. Because that happened to me last week.
I don't know.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I got
Someone trapped you and questioned your faith in God?
Yeah, I had to supervise this CenturyLink technician in the server closet.
And he just whipped around, tools in hand, was like, "Close that fucking door and let's talk about Christ."
You joke, but I knew as soon as I saw the blacked out cross on his cap, I was like, "Fuck, it's a born again Christian."
Oh, no.
God damn it!
Yeah, hardcore Christian, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking
and he turned around
freak.
and he got real close to me, like in a friendly way. He's a bigger guy, and at this point, it's 2 parts exasperation to 1 part fear.
Right.
And he goes, "What's your name?"
Oh no,
and
dude.
I'm like, "Sarah."
He's
how
like
can
the
I help
sheriff in Texas Chainsaw
you?
Man.
No, he was a friendly guy. That's my hobby. And
My
then
name's Hoyt.
he holds out his fist for a fist bump. I'm like, "Get me out of this."
Yeah.
He's just like, "Fist bump for
Shit.
Christ."
Yeah,
Anybody fist bump for Christ?
Yeah.
Hey, let's fist bump for Christ.
Well, one hopes he was doing that for Christ and not because he's trying to fuck you.
No, it was definitely a Christian thing.
It could be 3 parts Christ, 1 part fuck.
No, I have been both evangelicalized or whatever and propositioned enough to know the difference.
It could be 15 parts Christ, 1/16th part fuck. Like it was not on his mind, but like if you would have been like, I'm pretty horny for Christ, he definitely would have been like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, he is a blue collar worker and they're always a little horny. So.
Yeah. A little horny.
You know what? This calls for a reading, I think, from Experiencing God Day by Day.
Oh, good. Now my dad can do it.
Day by day.
It's called The Extraordinary in the Midst of the Ordinary.
Can I wait? Hold on 1 second. I experienced God bust by bust.
I know
and this reading's for you especially.
Go ahead.
It sure is. It sure is. Because when the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, God called out to him from the bush,
"Moses, Moses."
"Here I am,"
he answered.
Speaking of which, wait, or is there more?
Oh, there's
I think we get the
oodles
gist, don't
more.
we? Don't we get the gist?
Son, there's hundreds of pages more.
Yeah.
Hundreds of pages.
Anyway,
look, I'm glad neither of you were killed by these so-called Christians, okay? Or these pizza throwers or these blue-collar block you into a small spacers or whoever it was that you were dealing with in your life. I'm glad that all turned out safely and that you're here with us now.
Amen.
That kid, yeah, amen. Christ be praised. But that kid, if you would have been there, dude, you would have definitely got the vibe like he was about to do something and then chickened out at the last second. You know what I mean?
Well,
you're about to do something.
Yeah, you're a pretty intimidating guy coming up on somebody.
No, I'm not. But
well,
this
you
kid,
are 6 foot tall, so that does help.
Stop. I'm not that scary, especially not if you got a gun in your car. You know what I mean?
But
or
I'm
a
just
crossbow.
I'm just saying.
Dipped in holy water.
Because they can smell the sulfur on you?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to try to get inside the mind of a warrior of Christ.
Oh, Lord.
Okay?
That's smart not to. That's very smart not to.
They're on a mission, a holy mission.
Did you guys hear about
From the Bible.
The march or whatever was it in Maryland?
The Bible.
The march in Maryland.
It was like
Thrilla in Manila.
Fucking rollers. It was like, let me actually pull the thing.
Look, it could have been the Vanguard in Virginia, or
yeah, there we go.
It could also have been the do-gooders in D.C. We can go at this all day.
Maine.
We really
it
can.
was in Maine.
It was in Maine.
Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, all the same fucking thing, yeah.
Wakefield standoff
One's got
suspects claim
crabs,
to
one's
be
got Whitey Bulger, one's got whatever.
part of group called
Stephen
Rise of the
King.
Moors.
Right, Rise of the Moors. What? What are you talking about?
Moors what?
You guys are busy talking over Sarah.
Well, she's trying to figure something out. Have you gotten it? Have you got
Wakefield standoff suspects claim to be part of a group called, quote, Rise of the Moors, quote.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
all right.
Dad knows because he's part of the Rise.
It said Maine, but now it says Massachusetts.
He's
He's
the leader of the Rise of the Moors.
Because I'm the Chief Moore. I'm Archie Moore. Hi, Archie Moore here. I'm the leader of Rise of the Moors. We had a little trouble on the interstate on our way to Maine. We were pulled over in Massachusetts. Funny story, kind of a funny story. So we ran out of gas. Dumb, huh? You'd think we'd have stopped for gas, but we ran out. So we had one of our guys going and getting gas. And while he was getting gas, we were standing around the car and we had our long guns out in the open because that's what we Americans do. Archie Moore, leader of the Moors, I said, let's wear our long guns. What can possibly go wrong? Because we were on our way to Maine when we got pulled over in Massachusetts. Yeah.
Everybody knows the feeling when you're sitting around at a gas station, you got an inordinate amount of fireworks or firearms in your car, and you're like, let's just fucking pull these bitches out and play with them a little bit, Let's flash these at people.
Well, they were on the side of the road, is my understanding. They never made it to the gas station. They had to send somebody to the gas station because they ran out of gas. How do you run out of gas collectively? How do you do that?
collectively is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Because there were like 11 of these motherfuckers. They weren't in all one like Pinto. I mean, there
that's
had
how
to be more than one car.
That's how in sync they were with each other.
They ran out of gas at the same time, I guess. I guess I wasn't there. Maybe I'm just making it up.
Can't rule that out.
The conclusion.
Oh, yeah. So the conclusion is they had arrested all these assholes because the state police roll up on them. They're like, hey, in Massachusetts, you're not allowed just to hang out with your long guns by the side of the road. You're going to have to get arrested now. And so they got arrested. And I was very...
There wasn't a shootout? Sarah's article there implied a shootout.
I didn't think there
standoff.
was. There was a standoff, but no shoot. I don't think any shots were fired.
All right.
I think the cops rolled up and said, hey, you're going to have to give us your guns. And they said, we're not giving you our fucking guns. Now back off. They're like, hey, let's all calm down here. Yeah. Maybe we can work something out, but you're not allowed to have guns out here like this in Massachusetts. Is that how it went down, Sarah?
Yeah, basically. They were wearing full military gear and were apparently on their way to Maine to go train. And the troopers said, you
train
can't,
what?
For their cult.
For the race war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that checks out. And then they were like, yeah, what's going on here?
The trooper asked for driver's licenses and proper licensing for the guns, but the group did not provide either.
We don't got to show you shit. It's America. That means I do not have to provide any identification to anyone for any reason.
You see this AR-15? That's my ID. You see my permit? I'm an American. That's my permit.
I got my permit right here.
I know my goddamn rights.
According to the trooper, previously posted rhetoric from the group has been, quote, anything but peaceful. So it's just another white supremacist group, from what I understand.
Not traveling in a convoy with multiple long gun firearms to go train in Maine to be peaceful. We're going to go train with these guns to be peaceful, guys.
Let's train for peace.
The Rise of the Moors, the Moorish American Arms.
Moorish American, dude.
I told you the guy's name was Archie.
So lame. What a bunch of... Dude, belonging to any club, so lame. You are such a dork if you belong to any club.
The group claimed to be American nationals, but not U.S. citizens. They have a Moroccan flag. And according to their website, the group is based in Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
Wait, what? What's the Moroccan flag about? That's throwing me off.
They say their goal is to inform all Moors of their political status here in the U.S.
Let me tell you something about Moors, okay? Moors are not white supremacists. Moors are the supposed heirs to the ancient Islamic wave that spread across Europe and took Spain in the late 700s.
Oh, so you know about the Moors?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're aware of the Moors?
I am aware of the Moors.
Well, yeah, because they're like Is there anybody these days who calls themselves Moors? Is that
Yeah,
what we
These
do?
guys.
Well, clearly
these fucking
assholes
guys.
Well, but they could be, fucking brown nosing, history scrubbing. Let's pick a fucking Nazi name,
Well, it's not a Nazi name though.
I know, but that's,
let's pick a bad guy name and say we're them now.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just saying that if they're saying, hey, we're Moors because we're from Morocco, they're appealing to an ancient, at least a medieval Middle Eastern sensibility. So they're probably not white is the point.
Yeah, I think so. If I look at this picture here, the guy looks kind of swarthy.
I see. We've caught another swarthy one, fellas.
Yes.
Swarthy. Dude, what does swarthy mean? Why is it always a euphemism for brown people?
Well, you know Jack Sparrow, okay?
Yeah, he
was swarthy.
Okay. But he was white. It's Johnny Depp,
But he was dirty.
Yeah, he was okay.
Oh,
He was tan. He was tan is what you mean
Well,
to say.
look at my face. Does not my face, my visage, say swarthy to you?
The
Sometimes.
lighting and the zoom, you look pale as fuck. But when you were here, dude, you were looking swarthy. Swarthy in a motherfucker.
That's apparently our Spanish heritage.
When it's nice and warm out, you do look swarthy, but the things you say clearly put you in the white supremacist camp. Just a
What are you
touch.
talking about?
the thing, though.
That is not
Spanish
true.
people are white. They're white.
But
Yeah.
Moors are
Which I never.
Moors are
I
from
was-
Morocco.
Moors are from Morocco apparently, and from Massachusetts if you pulled them over at the wrong time.
Yeah.
The group also believes that Moorish Americans are the, quote, aboriginal people of the land to which sovereign power is vested.
This land?
This land is your
That's
land.
what I was thinking.
Moorish
This
Americans.
land
Well,
is
but I
my
thought it's like an
land.
Islamic
from
thing.
California to the
the
New
Red
York
Rock
Islands, from the
Oh, for
Redwood
fuck's sake.
Forest to the Gulf Stream waters.
Okay, I'm
This
kind of on board
land
now.
was made for Archie Moore.
All right. Anyway, I don't think Muhammad, the prophet,
Ooh, okay.
God may he rest in peace.
The leader, Jamal Latimer, Jamal Latimer,
Jalil Dick.
also known as Talib Abdullah Bey, was live streaming on social media during the incident.
To leave these nuts. You know what I'm saying?
You always know it's a terrorist when they have two names, and they're each less pronounceable than the last. That's
Yeah.
got to be a terrorist right there. Hey, my real name is Jalib Nugabuck, but my terrorist name is Raul fucking Mus. I mean, come on.
All right. Dude, I was too busy making puns in your last in the little synopsis there. So what do they want? Like, Islam never mentioned anything about America in the Quran, if I'm not mistaken.
So are these the equivalent of Islamic LDS folks, basically?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. They claim like the Moors were the Indians, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's kind of what the LDS says about, that the Indians were actually people that were converted by Jesus Christ.
LDS being Latter-day Saints.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I know. I thought that
I
was
could
a
tell.
K-pop.
I could tell Nick was like, I don't know what the fuck he's saying.
It was a K-pop.
Hey, should I read you from Experiencing God again? It'll help you.
No,
Yeah,
not
no.
helpful.
Experiencing God has overstayed its welcome, I believe.
I believe so too. All right, so we'll skip all that for now. But I did want to tell you, we did watch The Mitchells versus the Machines.
I canceled your plane ticket to college. We are going to drive you to school on a cross-country road trip as a family.
Meet the Helper Bot. We promise you they will never, ever turn evil.
And we just might be weird enough to save the world.
All right.
It's pretty dorky. How was it?
It was super dorky. So lame.
Yeah.
Terrible. It's
Yeah.
so treacly. I mean, you knew exactly what was going to happen before it happened. And then it happened. Some of the animation was cool, I guess. But from my point of view, the whole point of the movie is big tech is bad. I mean, that's the whole fucking point of the movie. So, but I'm sure it was all marketed through big tech.
Marketed and funded through and by big tech, for sure. Certainly.
Is this like that movie in like the early 2000s where the house has AI and like tries to attack the family or whatever?
There's been a
There
lot
was
of themes like
Love,
that.
Death, and Robots clip of that. Though.
There sure was. That was a great one too. A great episode in the second season.
And I had the language set in Japanese, and I was like, "Oh, this one's in Japanese." I didn't even realize it. I'm like, "Okay, it's in
Nice.
Japanese." I'm like, the mouth doesn't seem to be matching up with what they're saying, but okay. And the next one plays in Japanese. I'm like, is this whole fucking season in Japanese? What the fuck? And then I look in the link. I'm like, I had this shit in Japanese the whole fucking time. God damn it.
Well, you still understood what it was trying to tell you, I'm sure, even though it was
Well,
in
I had
Japanese.
the English subtitles on.
Oh, I see. How convenient.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay.
He subbed this English show.
Yeah,
That's what he did.
That's how fucking weeb I am, dude. I listen to everything in Japanese and have the English sub. Even naturally English dub, I change it to Japanese sub.
Look at this TikTok. Okay, hold on. I sent it to one of my coworkers, and he sent me a pukey face, which is how I know it was good.
This land is my land. This land is my
this one?
land. This land is my land. Yeah, I did, yeah.
Anyway, my grade for Mitchell versus the Machines. Oh, wow. I got it. Thank you. A C+. It was an average plot that was, serviceably executed. Was really ham-fisted about, hey, I get it. Family's really important.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, they're wacky. Oh, they're quirky. Oh, the dad. Oh, he's such a goofball. The mom, she holds it together. The daughter, hey, he's a little bit smarter than what you thought. And the little boy, oh, he's wacky. He's wild card. And it's the robots are out to get us. Is that what it was?
That's exactly what it fucking was.
Wow.
And I mean exactly. So you can see it was a strong average performance, right?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the animation was great. And once upon a time, that was enough. You know what I mean?
It's
but
true.
now everybody in their fucking asshole can do it. So, it now has to be good animation and it has to be good too.
All-star cast, though. Oh, just an all-star cast. I can't remember any of them at the moment.
Yeah. I remember seeing who was in it in the credits, and I was, in the little fucking casting on Netflix, and I was like, okay, that's...
John Legend.
Money.
John
Hey,
Legend.
everyone in that movie, it sounds like, just wanted to cash their check, and then they did.
Good for them.
It was Danny... The lead character was Danny somebody, and I couldn't help thinking it was like Danny Masterson, who's that rapist. But it's not him. It's Danny...
That was Danny Phantom.
Nice.
Well, anyway, I don't recommend you waste your time with it is the bottom line. Unless
I was going to give it a hard skip, and now I think it's going to be a concrete skip.
It was a great week for movies for me because I sat on an airplane for 7 hours, give or take, on Thursday. Yeah.
Why?
Because there were storms all up and down the East Coast. So I was trying to fly from Atlanta to D.C., but all the flights trying to land in D.C., all the way from D.C. to New York, were all being told they had to circle around and being diverted to other airports to land. And it just caused all this fucking air traffic mess. And then while we're flying, we had to do a couple, circles and loops in random places because D.C. was getting tornado warnings. They'd have to clear out the tower. And then they wouldn't be able to, come direct us into D.C. again until they were done, ducking for cover. So I watched Emma.
She always declares that she will never marry.
I have no thoughts of matrimony at present.
Which, of course, means just nothing at all.
Emma, they're here!
With whom will you dance?
Mother, you must sample the tart.
And I watched Nomadland.
My mom said that you're homeless. Is that true?
No, I'm not homeless. I'm just houseless. Not the same thing, right?
No.
My husband worked at the USG mine in Empire. I was a substitute teacher.
It is a tough time right now. You may want to consider early retirement.
I need work. I like work.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And I watched The Courier.
This is unexpected. I can't believe I'm actually having lunch with spies. I'm just a salesman.
Exactly. You're civilians the KGB won't be watching.
It would be a real service to Great Britain.
What do you want me to do?
I'm volunteering to bring back the best source of Soviet intelligence you've got at a time where Russia and America are on the brink of nuclear war.
And only one of those was good. How many Emmas have you seen? You know what I mean?
I see.
This one seemed like it maybe stuck to the book a little better in some cases. It was worth a watch because I had literally nothing else to do.
Is Emma Jane Austen or Emily Bront?
Jane Austen.
I love Jane Austen.
I love Jane Austen too. And the chick who played Emma was the chick from The Queen's Gambit, and she was super great in the role.
She's also in Split.
Listen,
Yes.
Jane Austen's Much Ado About Nothing was absolutely phenomenal.
Right.
That was hers, right? She did that, right?
I think you probably best enjoyed Little Women.
Did you know that Much Ado About Nothing is a fucking sex joke?
Is that Jane Austen?
That's William Shakespeare, my
Okay.
dude.
Oh my God. Emma Thompson played in both Jane Austen movies and Much
Jane
Ado About
Austen, what the
Nothing.
fuck? What was I saying? Jimmy Johnson?
You said Jane Austen,
Okay.
but you were talking about Much Ado About Nothing, which is a Shakespeare
Okay.
play.
It is.
Yeah, that phenomenal feminist writer, Jimmy Johnson.
Fucking flexing your classic lip muscles today.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Nomadland is boring, and The Courier is awesome. So that's the only one you should watch of those three.
The Courier. Tell me more about The Courier. You told me that one was interesting. I can't even remember who was in it.
It's Benedict Cumberbatch, who I would watch in anything. So let's just get that out of the way. I would watch him in anything.
For the same reason that
Okay,
you would go
put
to
it-
a freak show.
Put a
Yes.
pin in that, and we'll come back. We'll circle back around to that one.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I had a comment on watching something for Benedict.
No, just go ahead.
Oh,
You might as well just do it.
I don't know. I
You
watched it.
derailed the whole thing.
I didn't mean
No,
to.
it's fine.
Like,
It's fine. Go ahead.
He's in some movie where he plays a Southern slave master,
I remember that.
and his fucking accent is terrible.
It's 12 years a slave, wasn't it?
Well, I'll admit to being impressed even if you won't.
He should always play an Englishman. You know why? He's quintessentially fucking English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right down to the fucking facial features.
Yeah.
In a way that you could never describe. But like if you didn't know who he was and someone's like, where's this guy from? You'd be like, yeah, England.
Yeah.
Right.
Ironically, I am listening to a Sherlock fan fiction right now, which is, it's funny that
Here's
you
the
mentioned
thing.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
The thing
Right.
about fan fiction is that it would satisfy my every need, which is that every, video game or book that I read just is not enough. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I need more.
That's that's the whole point.
And yeah, I know, but I still refuse to. It's not, I just can't.
I understand.
Why?
You're a purist, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm a purist. I believe in, making sure that.
Okay, but I have some really good shit saved that I could send you.
Why don't you two work that out amongst yourselves? You're going to say something else before this
Oh,
whole
I was just going
Benedict-
to explain the movie. So the CIA and MI6 are contacted by this guy kind of in the upper cabinet of the USSR during Khrushchev, and this guy starts smuggling out these top secret documents, and they involve this like just British businessman so that it will seem totally on the up and up, and it does seem totally on the up and up, and that's how we found out about the missiles in Cuba.
Okay, so it's a
And we're able to-
classic Cold War spy movie.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
Ooh. Moose just yawned and I just got the fucking deep stink
He's probably eating cash.
from deep in his guts. Yeah, it smelled like I got, when the smell hit my nose, I literally got a vision of like the place where they would slaughter whales. You know what I mean? Just some dude gutting a big whale, blood and fucking awful everywhere.
Flashback to one of your former lives.
Yeah,
Working on the whale boats.
Yeah, as a whaler.
Before we get off the whaling subject, I just want to say that you thought Nomadland was a bore and that Frances McDormand did not deserve an Oscar for her performance. True or false?
I didn't say that she didn't deserve an Oscar. I thought she did fine. It was just boring. All right, but back to the whale stuff. That's I think you were a whaler in a previous life, and it would explain a lot about the sense of humor and many other things.
Maybe. Yeah, that'd be cool if I was a whaler once.
I demand sea shanties.
I thought I heard the old man say, "Leave her, Johnny."
There was a time when you could sing sea shanties to us right now. There was a time when you could do that, based on your knowledge of the Assassin's Creed
Black Flag
Pirate Edition.
Listen, we had to go dark for a second because the dogs were being, crazy. So I muted it.
I understand.
Sarah's up there wrestling them.
She's wrangling. She's wrangling and wrestling. No, I was just saying that you used to be able to sing sea shanties because you played Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Is Ubisoft paying you right now? What's happening? You doing an ad for Assassin's Creed right now?
No.
He might be.
We asked you to
like
sing
just a shameless plug for Assassin's
What's
Creed.
the matter to you? We need money.
Well, we're not getting it. That's what it matters to me.
Listen.
Fuck Ubisoft.
Oh
Don't
my
buy their
gosh.
shit until they pay us.
I almost forgot. This is so critically important.
Okay.
I was listening to the Vanity Fair podcast, and the guest was Nick Bilton.
What?
He's
The
a technology.
Vanity Fair
Just let me
podcast?
finish. Just let me finish. Let me finish.
Motherfucker, what? All right. Go ahead. Vanity Fair? I mean, what would even possess you to
let him-
entertain that
let
notion?
him
All right, go
Your
ahead.
dad
Go
is a
ahead.
pretty man, okay?
Okay, all right.
He's a pretty boy.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're listening to your Vanity Fair podcast.
This guy's a technology reporter.
Okay.
And he's reporting right now on cryptocurrencies. And there are thousands of them, including, oh, by the way, that's right, the ass coin.
Then there's other coins that are just trying to seek attention, like ass coin, right? Which is short for Australian Shepherd System or something like that.
The ass coin is a real thing that we can put our money in, that we can put our dreams into, that we can put our weight behind.
He reported on it?
Yes.
No, you're joking.
Here's the thing. It started in Australia. So I think that they were clued into our Ziff spits and stole Askcoin from us.
Dude, conspiracy.
Dude.
Fucking conspiracy, bro.
I say we sue the fuck out of them.
Yeah,
I say
out of Australia.
I say we put our money together and we buy an assloid of Askcoin.
Do you guys know how to do crypto mining and stuff?
I don't, but I'll tell you this. All these cryptocurrencies are there, especially not in spite of, because of the fact that there's thousands of them. They're all going to be worth $1 billion, and there's never going to be a bubble, and there will be no crash in any of these cryptocurrencies ever. Let's just do it. Let's jump all. Let's liquefy all our assets. Jump all in, baby.
In Askcoin.
In Askcoin, yeah.
Specifically. It's
Let's
got
get
our
Elon
name
Musk
right
on
on
board.
it.
Fuck diversifying.
Yeah.
No, exactly. All in. YOLO. It's a YOLO bet. We're going to liquidate. Oh, yeah. We're going to liquidate our 401ks. This is the plan. I hope you're all into it. We're going to liquidate our 401ks.
That sucks because mine's fat.
Dad, are you dying?
That's just the beginning. We're going to sell our homes. We're going to live.
Which is great because I got a huge, very stunning estate.
Well, Sarah, you also have to sell your homes. You're part of this. I assume that you're going all in as well. I'm just making that assumption. You can challenge me later.
Why does she get a choice? I'm being drug in. She has to be drug in. We're all in this together.
No. You married the man.
That's true.
You chose this. I was born into it. That gives me
Molded by it.
Crafted
by it. I threw you off with my Bane impersonation.
No,
dude.
it was
got into your psyche with that Bane.
Shut up. There's a fucking word I'm looking for. What is that called when it's a
Tom
thing?
Hardy,
an
dude.
oxymoron? It's not an oxymoron. It's like an oxymoron. Kinda.
I hate the word juxtaposition because
There's
it's like
an H
clearly
word.
fucking people just jerking themselves off trying to sound smart when they could just say
this
Irony?
thing is
contrast,
Maybe
like
I'm-
any other word.
Maybe I'm straight up just thinking of the word irony.
Maybe
The
the
irony
concept of
is-
irony.
The irony of it is that you chose to marry him and now you have no choice, but I was born into this without choice and now I have the choice
Yeah.
to leave his ass
There
in the
you go.
nursing home.
You're trying to vaguely describe the concept of irony.
Yes, exactly. No,
That's what
I
you were
was
doing.
looking for a very specific word.
Yeah, through describing the concept of irony. Yeah. Anyway,
That was so
okay,
fascinating.
we're liquefying our assets, and then what?
And then we're going to put you to work.
What?
Well, somebody's going to manage the farm.
Doing what?
mining. You're going to be the one that's mining additional Askcoin after we spend all this. So do you think, Sarah, because I was just thinking we should just buy Askcoin. Just liquidate all of our assets down to the last dime and just buy Askcoin and then hold it with diamond hands. Just hold on to it.
Till the day we die.
That's right. And, you know, we'll
Dad
probably
forgets
be
the password to his crypto wallet, whichever is more likely.
Then they'll be sorry.
a couple of weeks in, we'll probably be billionaires and we cash out real quick. Like, I mean, I know it'll be tempting at the $50 million or $100 million mark to cut our losses and just sell, right? And then just take our earnings and go home. But no, that's where we have to be strong. You know what I'm saying, kids? At the $50 to $100 million mark, that's where you really just want to hang in there as tight as you can.
It sounds like you're selling Amway.
You joke, but that was a past life of his.
It's true. She knows this.
Yeah.
See,
They're bringing this up to humiliate me. It's fine.
This is all part of the young money, cash money mentality. What Dad's describing.
What the fuck Gen Z bullshit just came out of your mouth?
If you're not, first off, Young Money Cash Money is a record label started by not started by Lil Wayne. That Lil Wayne was it's been around for a long time. But if you want to have that Young Money Cash Money mentality, you got to liquefy your assets and buy all the cryptocurrency.
Specifically Askcoin.
Yeah, Askcoin. Fucking Askcoin, dude.
After we take over Askcoin by proving that we had the idea first.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's a big first step. Yeah.
I think it's better if we don't own it. I really do. I think it's better if it's in capable hands. By the way, do you know what it stands for? The real Askcoin? The real Askcoin is an Australian cryptocurrency. It is.
You said you knew what it stands for. Apparently, Australian Bitcoin or cryptocurrency does not ask. Yeah.
Is Australia spelled ASSTRALIA? Australia?
Depending on who you ask.
It is on Pornhub.
You go ahead, type it in to Google, see what comes up. Something comes up. It's not nothing.
You figure it out.
Might have to do a little fucking Australia research tonight.
Sure. How's your homework coming? How's your school coming?
Good. I had to make some stop motion pictures.
How did those go?
It took a long time.
I would have liked to have seen those. I asked to see them.
I have them saved. They're in my drive. They're not gone.
He demands to see them now.
Yeah. It's fun. Making stop motion movies is, or I can't call it a movie, but, a little fucking clip. It is fun as fuck, but I can, it takes a long time. A lot of fucking patience and like precision. I almost said precisity.
I understand.
I like precisity.
There's a scene in Parks and Rec when Amy Poehler's boyfriend, he's depressed. He's lost his job.
Yeah. I worked 4 months on this. And it's stand in the place where you. That's one of my most highly upvoted comments on Reddit is this guy. The video is him like showing the process of like stop motion. He's like stop motioning a guy to turn into a werewolf. And it's like, hours and hours and hours. And I just commented, stand in the place where you. I got like 500 upvotes for that.
So the most upvoted thing you've ever had is 500 upvotes?
Yes. Yeah, by far. Well, no, one time I posted a picture of a tattoo that it was on awful taste but good execution. It got removed because it wasn't Tattoo Tuesday, but it still got like 3,700 upvotes. But it was just a fucking picture of the Eat, Pray, Love, and then it was crossed out and just said eat, shit, and die on it. And I was like, it's a pretty fucking hard tattoo. I like that a lot.
That's good.
Awful taste.
That's good.
Excellent execution.
Yeah. I thought it was good taste and good execution, but
we've
for the
talked
libs on Reddit, you got to do what they want.
Shut the fuck up.
Dude, I realized the other day, I'm like, I'm going to offend all of you right now.
That seems unlikely.
I'm about to offend all of you. I'm like, anyone who identifies as a liberal, a conservative, a Democrat, a Republican, like you're so, like, it's so lame to belong to a club. You know what I mean? To like have that as part of your identity. So lame, dude. So stupid. Get a job. You know what I mean? Get a hobby. Go do something else. Live your fucking life, for God's sake.
Hey, speaking of living your life, have you two seen the second episode of season 5 of Rick and Morty? Mortyplicity.
Decoy family?
You made clones of us? Decoys, Morty. Very different.
How do you know we're not decoys?
Damn, like Westworld. Yes, Morty, like Westworld, but don't f*** them.
No, because they didn't put it for free on YouTube like they did the other one. So how the fuck am I supposed to watch that shit?
Whichever one of you has YouTube TV, one of the two of you has my YouTube TV account. You can watch it on that.
What are you doing later tonight, Nick? Streaming that to my TV?
You'll like it. It's a great fucking episode. Classic Rick and Morty and very funny.
Actually,
I don't know if I watched season 4.
I'm pretty booked up tonight. I was going to drink 12 beers and pass out in a bottle of my own vomit.
That's okay. You'll drown in your own vomit later.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'll be taking care of that myself.
One other thing we did this week, by the way, is we cleaned a car. I mean, not just any car. I mean, we cleaned the fuck out of this car, man.
Okay.
You're welcome, by the way. It is now free
you.
from cat litter, cat shit, vomit,
one.
pretzels, oil, Coke, probably cum, bong water, cat piss, you name it. If it was foul, it was poured at some point in time or another into the fabric of this vehicle.
Poured, spilled, or splashed, sloshed, jostled,
splooshed.
Yeah. Dripped.
Somehow that's
Slowly,
the worst.
Lurchingly.
Sure.
Anyway, it's gone. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
But here's something hilarious. I've got 2 hilarious things for you. So we go to pick up this car. Did I talk about this? The fact that we pick up this car and we have to change the battery, and the battery is complicated as fuck. You got.
I don't think so.
You got to
You
take
told me about this privately on the phone, but I don't think we mentioned it last week.
Well, it's insane what you got to do to replace a battery in this car. You got to take off the windshield wipers. You've got to take off a couple of shelves. You've got to then anyway.
That's so fucking crazy. It's crazy that windshield wipers are involved in this process in any way.
Right.
Like no one at the manufacturing plant was like, that was intentional. Like, yeah, let's put the windshield wipers on top of this bitch, dude. They ain't never gonna figure this shit out.
Yeah, I had a crescent wrench, I had a screwdriver, and I had some needle nose pliers. That's what I had to get this job done.
And some hope.
And
a
hope.
Dream.
That's right. We did get
And
it
Brad.
done. Yeah, and Brad. Which I found out he put the windshield wipers back on, but he didn't actually tighten them down very well. So it's pouring rain, the wipers aren't moving. Here's the point, though. I figured out after we cleaned this vehicle that everything we needed to do that job was in the vehicle. It was just under so much shit I never thought to look in the vehicle.
Right.
It was hidden in the hoard.
Hidden in the heaps.
So that car's empty now. It's a whole different vehicle. I worked on it, by the way, to get some of the dents out of it today.
Oh, well, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, and then we find
That's
out.
not necessary.
So we do all this work on this car. We get it back, and Elsie's looking through the paperwork, and she says, "Hey, did you see this? It says the right rear wheel is bent." I said, "Well, that explains a lot, because it's really not running still that smooth." They did all this work on this car, but they left that without telling me. So
Why?
I don't know,
Why?
but
out of all the things, like, yeah, okay, we got everything fixed up here, but let's just leave that right rear wheel bent. But let's put it in the report so he knows we know, and that we just decided of all the things to leave this, just fuck this off.
Right?
Because fuck that guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, fuck him.
Leaves us this fucking disgusting vehicle full of cat shit and piss and bong water and who knows what. So
Yeah,
fuck
that's
that
fair.
guy.
Yeah, on second thought, I didn't realize that you handed the car to them pre-cleaning.
Yeah, it's a chronological order.
I might have made a
that was
mistake
for
on
sure a
that.
little fuck you.
Well, and then the second fuck you is, "Hey, would you like us to change the battery?" "I think I can change a battery, sir."
Dumbass, I'm a big, strong man, okay? I think I can change a little fucking battery. Now get out of my way.
That's when I find out the battery at the battery store is $160, and they were only going to charge me $190. It just seemed like a lot of money. But I didn't realize the battery itself was $160. I thought the battery would be about $100, and I'd be saving about $90. When I realized I'm not saving shit. And then it's also the most difficult automotive job in the world. Imagine how stupid I felt.
You couldn't go back. Couldn't.
And yet I took the car back this evening and dropped it off. I hope they enjoy the experience now.
But not for the battery, though, right?
No, not for the
Couldn't
battery.
be for the battery. You would have had to die first,
Sure.
I know that.
Yeah, for sure. No, the
You would
battery
have had to
was
have
fine.
committed seppuku or just bought another car of the same make and model and color and covered it all up to avoid the shame.
Yeah, no, fortunately that didn't have to happen because we did successfully replace a battery. But we've got it back for that right rear wheel, and then we'll be driving it out.
Awesome.
It'll be fun. Well, anyway.
Hey, when is that happening?
Oh, yeah, when is that
We're showing up in a home near you, as in the home you're in, next Sunday night.
I don't get back in town till Monday.
And that's excellent. We were really hoping for that outcome. So that.
God damn it.
We're going to be there Monday and Tuesday.
So we'll welcome you home. We'll have your pipe and slippers waiting for you, an ice cold martini and freshly grilled steak and a nice green
How
salad.
did you get in here?
And some pills.
I was going to say, but
Where
we'll
did
have
you find
moved
that?
in while you're gone. We'll rearrange your furniture and make it cozy for ourselves.
Anyway, until then, love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, no, but don't go.
He
Leave that
trapped
in.
you.
Leave that in, dude.
He trapped you.
Wait, no, but don't go. Please. Please.
Don't leave me.
A Shinn Show is a production of Shinfluence. It features the voices and opinions of the Shinn family, which are entirely and exclusively their own. Join us each week on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
Thanks as always to our regular listeners. We love to hear from you. Please email us at ashinshow@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.